So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel. I'm sitting in my tomatoes, and we're going to talk about the tomatoes. We're going to talk about the shade cloth. We're going to talk again like we have for many, many years. I have multiple videos on the garden clips. I've used these in many videos over the last 6 or 7 years. I'll attach some of my older videos so that you can see what I'm talking about. Oh! Well, that was a slippery little sucker. Remember that from Pretty Woman? Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. So this is the deal. My hands are a little sweaty. We won't talk about that Saturday Night Live skit. Look, so this is what I'm talking about. Guys, I have been using these for many, many years. Many of you folks out there that have been following me for many, many years have seen all my videos, Lord knows how many videos I have, either exclusively showing these or other videos teaching you how to take care of things or whatever. And these are always included. Years of this, okay? So this is nothing new for Patera at Appalachia's Homestead. Many of you are using these as well, and they're great. So you can get them on Amazon. If there's other places that you want to get them, I don't care, okay? But they're garden clips. I have used these on sweet peas. I use them every year, especially on tomatoes, eggplant, peppers, green beans, cucumber, you name it, okay? So as your plants grow and you're having to work with them, getting a little bit heavy, certain things can start to break or fall if you don't have them properly, on the stake. And I'm at that point where I'm having to help clip things up. I know the lighting might be a little bit weird, guys. I'm in my tomatoes under the shade cloth. But this is going to help them from breaking or falling or pulling, okay? You can get different sizes in your packs. You can get 100, 200, whatever works best for you guys, okay? But I highly, highly, highly recommend these, okay? It's worth its weight in gold. And I'll attach some old videos down below. Seriously, if you've been with me for a long time, nothing new, but it's genius. So I'm just going to show you real quick. It's pretty simple, stupid. Come on. Anybody can do it. Kids can do it. I do like to take them off at the end of the season. Some of them don't end up being able to be reused. They might break. They're not, $1 million pieces of steel or diamond here. But what I'm going to do is just take it. Can you see this? So this little piece right here, I'm just going to clasp it right there so it doesn't bend down and break. Okay, so as you are trimming, as you are pruning, as you are making decisions about keeping your tomatoes, well kept, this is a decision you have to make too. Some people use old t-shirts that are cut up. Some people use pantyhose. You don't want, some people said a zip tie. I'm going to tell you to be careful with zip ties. You can use a zip tie, but make sure that when you attach it, that you're keeping space from it to the plant. Because if you do it too tight and the plant continues to grow and everything starts getting bigger, this is going to be bust into it, okay? It's going to grow into it. You don't want that. You don't want it to kill that off. So I'm telling you, they're awesome. Now, I decided to go with shade cloth this year just for my little strip of tomatoes here to try it out. So let me explain, because some of you, and I agree with you, some of you have said, Patera, tomatoes need lots of heat and lots of sunshine. Yes, they do. But if you remember 6 weeks ago or so, we were having drought conditions, extreme heat very early, and lots of sun to the point where it was very hard to keep up with management. It does come to a point where you have to intervene, okay? So I put up these little shade cloths. I got them off of Amazon. The link is down below, okay? You can get them in different sizes. This is kind of like what my dad would say, a lick and a prayer, and it has worked fantastic. Because let me tell you why. My little tiny tomato plants that I planted literally at the very end of May in a heat wave are thriving. Now, I've been taking really good care of them, and tomatoes are coming on. But I really think the shade cloth has helped tremendously. Let me tell you what else I think. We have had some serious rain. In fact, we're supposed to get a huge thunderstorm this afternoon. This on top, it's pretty secure. Well, all I did was attach them to the top and with some zip ties. They've held up really well. I'll be honest with you. The rain has not beat my tomatoes down. My corn and some of my other items that I'm growing that are out in full sun have been battling some beatdowns from the rain. My tomatoes, I think that took the edge off of them getting just absolutely pummeled, because the shade cloth, even though the rain goes through, I mean, clearly you can see, but it's kind of like a small buffer. You may not agree with that, but I honestly am watching this in real time. And so I think it's helped. I think it's helped with a little bit of too much sun in terms of heat, because they're still getting a lot of sun, but it's just not an absolute beat down when we go for days and days and days without rain. And in addition to that, when we suddenly are getting this like monsoon rain situation and thunderstorms, it's almost like it's protecting them too. So I highly recommend it. If you're already into the season and you can't set up a shade cloth, let me tell you something. I think it's an important prep to have to put away. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So we've got tomatoes here, the plant's looking good. I'm pulling things through to make sure it's staying within the tomato stake. But you can see I've got this large piece. I can't see the camera, guys. I've got this large piece sticking out. I don't want that to break if a thunderstorm comes through. Look, it's already flowering. So this is what I'm saying. I'm going to take this, pull it up somewhere with ease to the actual tomato stake, and I'll put one of those clips on so it doesn't get broken off. Okay, so this is what I'm working on very quickly before it gets too hot. And I have a couple of questions for you. You guys have been so awesome in helping answer questions that I have, and a lot of you have questions too. But I've noticed there's been some bold statements, and it just got me thinking about, wow, that's a good point, or that's a good question, or how could or would that ever happen? So I thought I would ask more questions and, I don't know, give some theories, I don't know. So here's the deal. So, we were talking about in yesterday's video, the whole idea is, I don't know, I mean, the whole thing with the UN and, the 2024 thing. Did you watch that video from yesterday? You really, really should. The article, by the way, is down in the description, down at the bottom. It's easier for me to copy and paste my stuff, put it on my description, and then attach new stuff at the bottom, okay? That's why I do it that way. It's just easier for me. It is. So here's the deal. So I'll keep working. So some of you were like, oh, that the UN, we've heard this for 20, they could never do that. There will never be this, there will never be, because we would know if they started bringing in soldiers, or we would know if they showed up, or we would know. I think you're right. I mean, I think you would know, right? I mean, shouldn't it be obvious that you would know? I don't know. But here's my question. Not really my question. Here's my thought. What if in some weird, strange way, like, they brought in a Trojan horse? The Trojan horse story. So what if they actually brought in like a Trojan horse and then released individuals that were orchestrating some type of like takeover or project, or I don't know. I mean, we read about this in different stories and seen that in movies and stuff. So I mean, so if it's going to be the Trojan horse effect, you're probably going to have to be smart and sneaky about it too, right? I mean, because we all know that, us citizens here in the United States, the majority of us are very pro-to, and we like the idea of, like our ancestors believed and our forefathers, in defending ourselves. So, and defending our country. So you have to work with that. So if you have that as a roadblock for your Trojan horse, how would you get around that? I mean, how would you get all of these people here to kind of either take over, fight, infiltrate? I mean, what if you just sort of like opened up your borders slowly and just started letting people in? It's not like an overnight charge-in effect. You know, not like they're showing up in fatigues and Humvees and tanks and doing all of these things where it's obvious. What if it was, you know, if I was going to do this to try to win, slowly win with a strategy, what do you think? Would that do it? I think that it's a slow approach. It's the long game, right? And I think that would be the way that I would do it. I would want to kind of like be under the radar type thing, you know, make you think that, you know, all these things are good and helping humanity, and, you know, and maybe it is to a degree. I mean, maybe it would be, you know, but at the same time, I mean, think about it. If you just allowed people that you have no idea who they are, well, you know who they are, you know what they are, you know where they come from, and you know how you can utilize their children for things. But I'm just saying, if you want to fool and slowly sneak it in, it's going to take some time, couple of months, couple of years, and just kind of let them float in, right? The thing is what happens, and, you know, so where do they go? It's like, once it starts happening and people are just showing up and they're just sort of blending in, and, you know, because most people have short attention spans anyway, so it's kind of like people will stop paying attention, right? Because they're busy, you know, working their farms or working their jobs or going to the beach or, you know, playing their iPhones. So, you know, over time, they're just not going to really pay attention anymore. All the while, your Trojan horse is slowly under the radar, continuing to come in. And, you know, people aren't going to ask where these people are going. They'll ask about some. They'll worry about certain instances. But overall, where are all these people going? Particularly young men, basically between the ages of, like, say, 18 to 35, you know? And they don't have children. They don't have wives. They're just showing up. Where are they going? Where are they living? What are they doing? Or better yet, where would they be trained? I mean, would you send them to like military bases, or, I don't know. I was just thinking out loud, you know, because I saw some of y'all saying this would never happen. And I thought, you know, maybe it wouldn't ever happen. But if I were to make it happen, if I was in some sort of wicked leadership that was, you know, turning against my own people and, you know, being that type of fun person, how would I make it easier for there to be some type of issue of, I don't know, takeover in the future? So don't you have to, I would want to slowly set that up over time, you know, have them, bring them in. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. I mean, what do I know? I'm sitting here under shade cloth, sweating like a little pig with tomato clips. I mean, I'm just a hillbilly redneck woman in Tennessee. And I don't really know much. I'm just asking questions. What do you think? How would that go? You think, I mean, if you were going to take over and infiltrate a country for a slow burn takeover at some point, okay, how would you do it? What would be your strategy? What would be the winning strategy in that? I mean, if you couldn't just show up and go boom, boom, pew, pew, bam, bam, bing, bing, and you just want to slowly sneak it in, how would you do it? Have we ever seen that before? I mean, has that ever happened? I don't know. I'm just asking. Let me know. Well, guys, check out those tomato clips. I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep sweating. And I'm going to keep working. Tomato plants are coming on good. Check out those clips. They are very useful. Like I said, I have many videos on them. The shade cloth, I mean, I'm enjoying it myself. I'm just sitting here with my tomatoes asking questions, thinking out loud. What do I know? Probably not much. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. We appreciate you being here. More videos on the way. We'll see you then.